Hi, it's Lou Manfredini, ACE's home expert. I'd like to talk to you today about starting up your furnace for the first time. Now, what's important to note is that I am a big proponent of having your furnace inspected and cleaned professionally on an annual basis. This, in my opinion, is something that is worth the investment. A licensed, capable HVAC contractor will come, they'll take apart the furnace, they will inspect the burners, make sure the igniters, everything is working in good working order and safely. Because with a furnace like this, which is natural gas, any appliance that creates combustion does create some level of carbon monoxide. And so it's very important to make sure that it's in good working order. Now, temperatures can change pretty quickly, and sometimes you have to fire up your furnace before it can be inspected. So I've got a couple of tips on what you should do prior to having it inspected professionally. Number one is changing out the filter. Now, depending on how your furnace is oriented, it may be, the filter could be in a bunch of different places. This particular one has this little door here that hides the slot where the filter goes. And this filter is relatively clean, although you can see some evidence of some dust and debris that's coming in there. This is an inexpensive filter. It costs anywhere from 99 cents to about $1.50, and it has a very low what's called MERV rating. That's the resistance of air going through there. This really is not designed to help clean the air in your home whatsoever. I happen to be a big fan of pleated filters, and that's an example right here of a pleated filter. This one has a MERV rating of 8. So it does restrict a little bit of the airflow, but not much. And it does a much better job of cleaning the air that goes through a forced air system. Now, it's important to note which direction your furnace blows the air in, because there are arrows that show which way you should put a filter in. On the case of these inexpensive ones, it really doesn't matter because the back side and the front side are exactly the same. On the pleated filters, because they have a higher MERV rating, you'll see that there's a little metal wiring on the back. That's to give the filter some structure. So it's important that it's oriented, and if you look at the arrow right here, it's showing you which direction the airflow would be. So on this particular one, it's drawing the air and blowing it up, and so the wiring that you see is going to go on the top area, and you're just going to slide that in and close it up. Now, when you're taking out that filter, you could use a shop vac. I'm not really wanting to give you advice of taking things apart, because unless you're very capable and confident, I wouldn't want you to do that. But take that vacuum cleaner, the shop vac, and kind of clean that area up a little bit. That can be helpful, in particular when you're firing it up on the first time. Over right around the corner there, if we point the camera there, you'll see a vent. That's actually a cold air return. And a lot of time you'll see dust and debris over there. That's a great idea to take that shop vac and suck that area out as well, because the cleaner that vent is, that means that filter isn't going to grab even more dust and debris to help keep things clean as it's circulating through. Oh, and by the way, always remember when you're doing any of this work, you want to make sure that the system is off when you're doing it. And finally, firing up the system, it's important that you have a working carbon monoxide sensor in your home. It doesn't necessarily have to be right next to the furnace. It actually should be in the living areas of your home, so near bedrooms. Have one that is in good working order. They typically last about 10 years. Some of the newer technology, this one actually plugs in, but some of them now with lithium-ion batteries, you activate it and they last for 10 years, and 10 years from now you throw it out. One thing that I want you to remember is carbon monoxide, from a weight standpoint, weighs the same as air. So it doesn't matter to me if the carbon monoxide detector is plugged down here or up at the ceiling. You just want to make sure these are in good working order. If you have a question or a comment, just leave it at the bottom of this video. We'd be happy to help. ACE is the helpful place.